We are back again with Courtney Ryan. This video is single at 38 and rejected by Matchmaker, but everyone else is the problem. I watched a couple minutes of this and it was kind of funny, so let's
Hi
check it out
everyone, welcome back to my
and
channel. If you're new
react
here, I'm
live
Courtney Ryan,
to
and
the
today we
rest
have a
in the
TikTok
beginning.
that I think can teach us a lot of different things. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to get into it, we're going to react. I will share my thoughts as we go and after, per usual.
I was rejected by a matchmaker this week. You wouldn't be able to work with me.
By the way, subscribe to Courtney Ryan, watch her videos, one of the best dating content creators I've ever seen. This lady on TikTok. Now, rejected by Matchmaker, this means that she hired a professional matchmaker and they refused to work with her. And she'll get into why, and it's pretty funny. Like, imagine that you literally are so bad at dating, you have to pay somebody to help you figure it out, and they pretty much call you a lost cause. They're like, you know what? Maybe do something else first. I don't want your money. I don't want your business. You're not there yet.
When we met, I told her what I was looking for and told her a lot about me. And I tried to highlight some of my core qualities, including the fact that I'm very, very type A, organized. I like to be the leader. I told her the types of things that I like doing. I also told her I was looking for a man who was also a leader because I don't want to always be the leader. But
Already she's getting into the craziness. You can see the craziness in her eyes. Like, crazy eyes are a real thing, and it's a serious red flag you should look out for. But yeah, this woman is possibly maybe on something, but she's already talking insanity. I want to be the leader, but I want a guy who's a leader because I don't want to lead all the time. That means she wants to be the boss at all times, but occasionally complain about it. She wants to be the boss 100% of the time, but 10% of the time she wants to be like, why aren't you the boss? Why aren't you making the decisions? Why do I have to always make the decisions? That's what she's actually saying. She just doesn't understand that that's how she is. Some people just completely lack the ability to like reflect on themselves. They just have no idea how truly awful they are. And hopefully with the criticism she's facing for this, she reflects and realizes how awful she is. Because everyone has the opportunity to change and improve.
believe it or not, I told her I was looking for someone that was at or above the same income level as me, driven, who is ambitious, who is ready for a long-term relationship and ready to get married. She may have actually picked up on the fact that I'm a little high-strung. I'm not like a
I mean, you're clearly high strung. It's already obvious by what you're saying. You want somebody who's ready for marriage, yet you're in a position to where you're hiring a matchmaker. You're so bad at dating. You are lost. That lost. So yeah, you're in a kind of a crazy position to be like demanding that somebody be ready to marry you right away when you seem to have no sense of yourself.
stressed out or anxious person. I'm just high energy or type A. This is who I am. And she was asking me, do I meditate? No. Do I journal? No. Do anything woo? And I said, no. I said, in fact, I'm not even on the same planet as woo. When talking about what I didn't like in a man, I said I could never really be with a beta type man. I specifically used the word doormat. I said I would chew them up and spit them out.
You can already see Courtney Ryan's face she just made. You want to be the leader. Like, that's literally the first thing you say in this video is you want to be the leader. But like 10% of the time you don't want to be the leader, which means you do want to be the leader. You just want to be able to complain about it. But you want to be the leader at least 90% of the time, but you don't want a beta male. And you're type A, you're this dominant, talking a lot, kind of annoying, obnoxious, non-stop kind of person. But you want somebody who is going to lead you. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why do you want an alpha if you don't want them to lead you? If you don't want to be submissive even a tiny bit? It doesn't make any sense.
And her response was, well, I married that type of man. She was saying that, men really like a soft woman, and I should try some of these vision board, journaling, meditating type of things. Would never gonna be that type of person. She also said that she could.
Okay, so what she's not looking for is a beta type man or a doormat, and she says, I would chew them up and spit them out. This type of language is not attractive. Right off the bat here, I'm sensing some red flags just through the language that she's using. I think someone who says, I would chew them up and spit them out, that's just not attractive.
Yeah, those kinds of people are jokes. They're what's known as terrible people. I mean, to say you'll chew someone up and spit them out is crazy. Like, that means you're a terribly abrasive and awful person. I don't know how somebody could legitimately make that statement and not pick up on the fact that that means you're an awful person. And you're dismissive of other people based off traits that they can't control. Like, if you're going to be that awful to people, I get it. She's talking to a matchmaker, so she's like, don't match me with these type of people because it's not going to go well. That's kind of what she's getting at, but she's also not made it clear to this matchmaker at all what kind of person she actually wants.
And I wouldn't even say that it's just men who don't want that in women, right? I think the way she goes on to describe herself and just this whole thing in general, I don't think anyone would want a partner like that. We don't even need to put a gender on it. Something I've noticed is people who refer to other people as alpha or beta, non-ironically, in their real casual language, or who says things like I would chew them up and spit them out, is not someone that I would personally want to be dating or marrying. So I just want to say that.
Yeah, this idea that this woman wants an alpha male. Why? Like, she doesn't want to be submissive. What's wrong with somebody not being that? You would think that she would want somebody who balances her out, which would be someone who's like mellow. And like you can be mellow and be like a total beta, alpha or a beta. You could be really outgoing and like forward and direct and still be a total beta. There's tons of people like that. Look at Vosh. Look at Destiny. Who are content creators.
We'll continue though.
She could sense I had some walls
Look at Nick Fuentes.
up, which of course I'm coming to meet a woman who I'm asking to find my future husband at the rate of several $1,000s. I, of course, am going to be here really just trying to interview you, my dear friend, because I want to know if I'm going to get my money's worth with you. So, of course, I'm going to have some walls up. I also think it's
That's hilariously dumb.
perfect.
You're paying somebody to be a matchmaker for you, someone to like delve deep into your psyche, figure out what you're doing wrong and how you can change and how you can be better at attracting partners. And you think it's reasonable to have walls up, meaning that you're just hiding who you are. You're just choosing to be dishonest about yourself to this person whose entire job it is to help you and help other people. That's their job. If you give them less information to work off of, that only gives them room to do a worse job. They can only go by what you're telling them. Right? That's kind of what helping anybody is listening to them. Like, kind of like quickly analyzing what they're saying. And the problem with that, what makes that more difficult than it needs to be, is people not being honest. You need to just be as honest as possible. Especially in a situation where you're seeking somebody where it's their entire job is to help you. What is to be gained from building walls and being distant and dishonest with that person? They don't know you. They don't care who you are. They're not going to put you on blast. That'd be incredibly unprofessional. They don't give a one iota of care as to who the heck you are, lady. Do you think there is nothing to be gained from holding back? You literally talk about like wanting marriage and for somebody else to jump right into a long-term relationship with you, but you can't even show a little bit of trust to this random woman, this random matchmaker, where there's nothing to lose. like there's nothing at stake. You only lose by holding back and putting up those walls, you goofball.
Perfectly normal to have some walls up when you are meeting someone for the very first time and who also had.
I mean, it's not easy, right? But you'll hear a little bit more of her
Not taken the
goofy stuff.
time to do her own research on me by stalking me on the internet. She definitely didn't have time because she asked for my socials no more than 1 hour before our meeting.
I would
So that's insane. That's completely insane. So you expect somebody who it's their job is to help people find dates and kind of navigate the dating landscape. And you want to pay this person to help you and to dive deep into you. And so far you've explained that you put up walls, that you were distant to this person. You are giving them not the information that they need to be able to help you. Not only that, but you expect them to work for free. You expect them to spend hours upon hours, days, researching you online, creeping your social media to try to figure out who you are. Oh my god, lady, you're an insufferable douchebag. You are a piece of human crap. I'm sorry, but oh my god, to expect somebody to work for free, to put hours of work into potentially working with you to help you fix your problem. You expect someone to work for free for like days. That's so sick and disgusting to me. Like, and to also do things to actively make that person's job more difficult on top of that. And it's going to be incredibly difficult for somebody to try to figure out who you are through your social media posts, because people typically on social media post the best of themselves, often fake stuff. They literally like fake that they live this luxurious, awesome lifestyle. They're happy all the time. They're traveling. They're doing this cool thing and that cool thing. And doesn't that food look really good? You know, aren't oh, looks like they're having fun with their friends all the time. They're partying all the time, living this lavish lifestyle. That's what people put forward, right? For the most part, people who are idiots, which is most people who are frequently posting on social media. But to expect this person to spend like days navigating you, like researching you in one of the most inconvenient ways imaginable is insane. Why would they do all that work for free? Why would they like be some super sleuth Sherlock Holmes doing this deep investigation on you for a little bit of your business? That's insane, dude. It's going to be a million times easier to get to know you by just talking to you face to face. And what you should be doing is being totally honest and open and having no walls up, because this person is only there to help you. You idiot.
would also like to mention there that I think meeting someone in real life and experiencing them in their entirety as a human being in front of you is far more telling than creeping on their social media beforehand.
I mean, that's the understatement of the century, Courtney. This is like like meeting somebody and vibing with them and talking to them in real life. Let's just say, let's give that a rating of like 20,000. Now, creeping someone's social media, I'd give that a rating on that scale like a 3. Like, these are worlds apart. Oh my god.
Because people like to highlight their best moments in their highlight reels on Instagram or their social media. Rarely do you see the fact that someone is high strung or hard to deal with or insufferable on their Instagram account.
If they post a lot about their relationships, then yeah, then you know they're insufferable.
Our meeting. So I asked her if she thought I would be ready for her services. Her response, she essentially said that I am not ready for her type of services because I have too much work to do. My walls are too high and I'm not ready for a long-term committed relationship at the ripe age of 38, where I have been in therapy for 10 plus years.
I'm going to stop her right there because, wow, what a ridiculous, insane statement. So, literally, this person's entire job is to help people with dating. They're a matchmaker. It's what they do, it's their career, right? It's what they're good at, it's what they're trained to do, right? They have experience doing this. And they're telling you you're not ready. You're not ready for a committed relationship. You clearly aren't. If you can't even communicate what kind of person you're looking for, and you seem to have no clue what kind of person you're looking for, that's bad. That's real bad. That's like you saying that I want an alpha. I just want an alpha. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's like saying I want a beautiful girlfriend. And that's it. That's all the criteria I'm giving you. They're gonna be like, what are you talking about? You've given no thought as to what kind of partner you might want to have. That's You're just providing me the most shallow, vague description imaginable. Crazy. Maybe you aren't ready for a long-term relationship, which this woman is not. So she points out that she's 38. Like, you need to have a little bit of self-awareness here. And I don't know, this is pretty much where I stopped watching before, because I was driving home from work, honestly, earlier today. You're 38 and you are so bad at dating that you need to hire a matchmaker. And then you're doing a bad job of being a client. You're basically probably one of the worst clients they've ever had. And you're 38 years old. Like, holy jeez. And you're a woman. Oh my God. So you gotta like hold up a mirror a little bit and be like, yeah, I'm 38 and this matchmaker is just like, you're hopeless. You have a lot of work to do on yourself. And you honestly do. You have a ton of work to do on yourself. Because you just said you've been in like therapy for 10 years. You've been seeing a psychiatrist or counselor or whoever for 10 years. A decade of your time. And holy, talk about somebody you shouldn't be paying. I mean, you've probably seen multiple psychiatrists, but clearly you're ignoring every word that they're telling you because you have done no work on yourself. You have years of improvement to make on yourself. You to have the like attitude that you have, the crazy sense of entitlement that somehow this matchmaker who doesn't know you needs to do days of research unpaid on you through just creeping your social media and decode and figure out exactly who you are and exactly what you want instead of you just telling them is so entitled and just awful. You're just a terrible person. You are so far from being a good person. That's what you need to work on. Way before you start thinking about being in a long-term relationship. You're not ready for any relationship, lady. Seriously. If you're bringing this kind of energy and entitlement to just a matchmaker, holy crap. Like somebody who's literally their job is to help you. You're paying them to help you, and you can't even be to the point where you can accept a little bit of that help. Oh my God. Like, that's crazy. That's wild. That's hilarious.
She also said that she's too woo for me, which I can accept that. That's fine. However, I shouldn't need to be a woo type person.
I don't know what a woo type person is. I assume this is like some older woman term that I've just never heard. Never heard this mentioned at any point in my life. What is a woo person?
To be worthy of love.
I don't think she was saying that at all. I think this matchmaker and her were just not a good mesh personality-wise. And I would also love to know, what is your definition of woo? What is woo?
I thought woo was another term for a vagina. I've heard it used in that context. but that can't be what she means.
Because woo to me is like hippy dippy, into crystals, into astrology, which you don't need to be in order to be in a relationship, but you do need to be able to see your negative traits and to work on yourself. That's not woo to me. Woo to me is like astrology, crystals, woo. I don't know. You can let me know.
I I still don't really know what you're getting at. Like I know what you mean by that type of people who are into like crystals and astrology. But it's always to like different degrees, and I never really know like what the anchor of that like personality type really is. Like I don't really know what they're getting at. Cuz some of them seem to be about like self-improvement and like positive energy and auras and all that. But others seem to be like total psychos and like into like kind of negativity in a lot of ways. And it seems like a really mixed bag. And maybe I'm just not experienced enough with those types of people. I've never heard this woo term.
Know what you think.
Said that I need to soften a little bit. And men like a softer woman. Essentially, I spent $350 to meet with this woman, have her tell me I am not worthy of love as I am, but the fact that I need to change in order to be worthy of love.
Yeah, you're not worthy of love. Like you expect somebody to be in a long-term relationship you right off the jump and just love you, just give you all their love. Well, you give them nothing in return besides maybe some leadership. All right, how are you going to lead this guy into a good relationship and a happy life? It seems like you have nowhere near the capability to do that. If you're 38 and you can't even figure out the basics of dating to where you have to hire a matchmaker, and on top of that, like that alone, you're nowhere near having the skills to lead a successful relationship or like life or like even like a roommate friendship. But on top of that, to literally do that and then have the matchmaker be like you're a lost cause, you're hopeless, you need to get like some kind of other professional help and then come back to me. Yeah, yikes, dude. Like you are honestly not deserving of a loving relationship in a certain way, right? Not like totally, not fully. You have to be willing to give love to say you deserve it. To receive it, you have to give it out. And you can't even give a tiny bit of cooperation to somebody you literally employed to help you, to help just you. You're not helping them. I mean, yeah, you are by paying them, but the focus isn't on them, it's on you. They're there to help you, and you can't even for a moment allow them to do that. You would be an absolute nightmare to be in a relationship with. Wow.
In partnership, which honestly, I think for that reason alone, she should have her matchmaking license taken away, because we shouldn't be pushing on these narratives that people are not worthy as they are, and essentially telling women that the type of woman they are isn't worthy of love.
Why? Because it's true. Like, it's too harsh. Like, I hate this idea. What she just said is what's known as infantilization of women. It's saying that women are like lesser people. And I hate that. I hate it when men do it. I hate it when women do it. Right? This idea that, oh, this person's saying this to women? Like women? The victim class? Oh my God, that we're not like worthy of love? What the heck? They're like a racist, sexist piece of crap. It's like, no, women are just people. Like, we're all just people. We're all adults here. You're 38 and you can't handle somebody saying like, hey, maybe you should freaking work on yourself. Maybe you're not ready for a relationship. Maybe you don't need to be hiring a matchmaker to help you find somebody if you're not even fundamentally ready to be in a relationship, even if you stumbled upon one, right? And this is something that I stress on this channel is a lot of these people who desperately want a relationship, whether it's men or women, and a lot of times it's men. They aren't even ready for a relationship. They don't even know, wouldn't even know what to do, wouldn't know where to begin. They don't know what it's like to function as a team, and what it means to be in a relationship, the struggles. They're nowhere near being prepared to bring their baggage onto somebody else, right? Because in a relationship, you should be like minimizing bringing any of your own baggage. Granted, you inherently will, because we all have baggage to some extent, but you should be at a point where you bring the tiniest amount of baggage as possible, because you need to be able to elevate yourself and your partner. So I'm sorry, lady, but you don't deserve love. You don't deserve a loving relationship. You don't know how to give love. You don't know how to give basic cooperation and logical understanding and like reasoning. You can't even, I can't imagine literally paying somebody to help me. It's like if I paid a maid to clean my house and she was like, "Where's your house?" She, like, I call her on the phone, "Hey, I'll pay you to clean my house." "All right, where do you live?" "I can't give you that. Just look at my social media." Like, what? You haven't already looked at my social media for like 3 days and figured out, based off of the background of the pictures, exactly where I live? You haven't like triangulated my location? What the heck? Click. What a bad maid. She didn't figure out where I lived. What the heck? She should have her license taken away. It's so dumb.
That is a narrative that should not be given to anyone, or it is dangerous commentary. And the fact that she said this to my face had some audacity. Well, we're celebrating my 38th birthday tonight, and we are going to wash all of what she said aside. I am so excited.
Exactly. Oh my God. She already says it, like, just with absolute smugness and ridiculousness. This is why you're not ready for a relationship. You can't reflect on yourself for 2 seconds. Literally somebody you hired. You're literally paying somebody cash money to be there to help you. And you can't absorb one word that they say. You can't be bothered to reflect on yourself for half of a second. Oh my God. Oh my God, lady. What is wrong with you? What on earth is wrong with people? You can't provide that level of collaboration, of teamwork, when the only outcome of doing so, of contributing anything to your clienteleness with this matchmaker, it can only have positive benefits for you. But it only can, whether it's the advice of this matchmaker or a psychiatrist, is if you actually listen to what they say. You actually take time and focus on yourself and improving yourself. And she's just stated that there is no way in the world that she will ever improve herself even a little bit. She's absolutely insufferable. She wants she wants an alpha male who makes more money than her. That's all she wants. She doesn't care that there's no reason for her to obtain that. She would be lucky to get the most beta of beta males. Honestly, she would be lucky to get like a 50-year-old mega obese beta male neckbeard. Not that there's anything wrong with being any of those things, but she's like, her league is like the bottom rung, like 2, 3s, 4s out of 10s. So I don't know what she thinks she deserves, but holy crap, lady.
And we're going to believe that no matter the type of woman you are, love is out there for you. We are not going to listen to this.
That's delusion. That is complete delusion. That's the worst advice you could ever give somebody. Like, how dare she say that this matchmaker should like lose her license? First of all, there's not a matchmaking license. You're not a doctor. You don't have a license to be a matchmaker. Oh my God. Just, this woman is so deep in her own like narcissism. She thinks that there's a matchmaking license. Oh my God. Giving advice isn't just saying, "Oh, you're perfect, babe. You're a 10 out of 10. Oh my god, everything you do is perfect. You deserve like a 10 out of 10 man. You deserve Brad Pitt tomorrow." And you're saying this to like the worst woman in the world. That's terrible advice. That will destroy somebody's life because they will continue to think that they deserve the best of the best when really they don't deserve anywhere near the best of the best. That's bad advice. That's not being nice. That's not being friendly. That's being kind of a terrible friend, is telling somebody, "Oh yeah, you deserve a 10 out of 10 man," when there's no reason for that to be the case.
This toxic narrative.
What's toxic is what you're saying. You're the toxic one. You've literally just displayed how you will never take a moment to improve yourself or reflect on a relationship or think about what you bring to the table.
That, my friends, is what it looks like when someone takes no accountability for themselves or the fact that they have work to do. Clearly, operating that way is not working for you if you're 38 and single, right? I mean, that's just my first assumption. But anyway, a lot to unpack here. I know I paused it a little bit throughout, but now I kind of want to go through it all and share some words of wisdom with you guys.
Now, Courtney Ryan is really nice. I can already tell she's going to be really nice. She does keep it real and tell people what they need to hear, but she also trends towards niceness, which I don't.
I think there's a lot to learn here. The first thing I want to talk about is
from director George Clooney.
I think Courtney Ryan's just going to go through the absolute absurdity of what this woman's saying. And I mean, I'll watch the rest of this, but I won't just leech off of what Courtney Ryan's saying. But yeah, I'm sorry, but if people in your life, especially professionals who you've hired, who don't know you, who have no stake in the game, are telling you you need to work on yourself, you potentially need to get help and improve, then maybe you need to get help and improve. I mean, you're 38 years old, hiring a matchmaker, and they're telling you you're hopeless. They're probably right. It's literally, they stand to make a bunch of money off you by telling you, you know what, let's go. They'll lie to you and just move forward. This person decided not to do that. They decided to do the morally right thing and say, you're hopeless, girl. Like, you need a lot of work. And I hate this attitude that some people have. I'll try to pause it better on Courtney Ryan here. I always give her the worst pauses. Just because you've gone to therapy for 10 years or even a smaller amount of time, that doesn't mean that you're just healthy, right? People often, just like that woman, have this idea that they've been working on themselves, they've been improving, they've had the grind set, they're and on this upward trajectory when really they've stagnated or they've actually declined over time. If you see a psychiatrist and you never actually self-improve, tons of people do that. They just can't for a moment. Maybe it's something in their head. They just don't have that ability to like actually reflect. I've seen it where a lot of people will use therapy or whatever it is as an excuse to continue to treat others badly. They're like, oh, they use it as a way to make themselves the victim so then they can victimize others. They say, oh, you know, I had this like this thing happened to me. Oh, my mom didn't give me enough attention, so that means I can be a complete a-hole to people all the time, or I don't need to ever improve because the such and such happened to me. And myself personally, as somebody who's had like some pretty traumatic stuff in my life, and I was like really sick as a kid, I had a pretty rough childhood, and guess what? I don't use that as an excuse to treat people badly as an adult. That's not a valid excuse. And a lot of people will use it as one, and a lot of people will get therapy and do zero self-improvement. They'll have this attitude that this person's just here to give me medication and tell me that how awesome I am. No. The only way you ever get anywhere in life, you improve at all, is through changing yourself, right? You're not just phenomenal the way you are. No one who's a really great person or who's successful in life and gets places in life just was just born that way. Look at like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Has more social media followers than anyone. Most successful movie star in Hollywood. Do you think he just was born super charismatic and buff? Or when you look at him, do you see a super muscular guy who works out like crazy? Who has actually worked for like decades to hone his craft and become a really good actor? Like this guy put in the time to improve and continues to improve. People who are really successful, they continually improve and evolve. And a huge part of that, a huge part of life, the essence of life, the best skill you could ever gain is the ability to gain, the ability to change and adapt and learn from not only your experiences, but other people's experiences. If you can learn from other people, oh my God, it's like a superpower, because every time somebody like tells you about their experience, you connect it to your own life or an experience that you're going to have in the future. And you can prepare and you can have a better plan and you can have skills. You can just gain skills from hearing people who have those experiences, right? Say you want to renovate your house and a coworker or a friend or somebody has those exact skills. They've done a big reno on their house. Well, guess what? Having them come over and look at your house or look at pictures of your house and give you advice, oh my God, they can make it a million times easier and a million times better. Like, and because they can give you all these tiny little details. And the problem is that people don't translate that to their real life, right? The best thing you can do is look at people who have experienced way more than you, like this matchmaker, right? This matchmaker has probably helped hundreds of people find meaningful relationships. And most of that is just getting them to freaking look at themselves and look at their previous relationships and take that information and translate it into different actions in the future, right? If you can do that yourselves, we all can learn to do that. You just have to be open and let your guard down and be willing to accept other people's experiences as valid and important and a tool that you can use yourself, right? Become that sponge that you need to be an efficient, effective, awesome person. You must do it. You can do it. It's great. It makes everything so much easier if you don't have to personally experience all the craziness that other people have. If you can just learn from what other people have done successfully and unsuccessfully, oh my God, it's like as though you are like Naruto and you use the shadow clone jutsu and there's like 100 of you and they're all living a life simultaneously and they're experiencing things and you just absorb all that information. You can do that with the people around you, especially old people who have like seen things 100 times. They have all these points of comparison that you just simply don't have. So you have to be like willing to extract that information, ask questions, and really think about what the answers are that you get to those questions and how you can apply them to yourself. That's all for today. I've went on quite a bit. This woman is she's nowhere near being ready for a relationship. She should maybe talk to like a counselor of some kind, maybe show someone in her personal life that video and have them like go through it with her. Maybe a different matchmaker, maybe a counselor, maybe a psychiatrist, and have them really be willing to break it down and just explain to her where she's going wrong. Because I want everybody to get help and figure this stuff out. It's just some people are miles away from figuring it out. So I'm hoping to do more of this kind of video. Like and subscribe. I love you.